Glasslip. Oh, God damn, help me. Let's get started. PA Works is undoubtedly one of my most favorite anime studios out there. They are alongside with Studio Bones and Kiro Animations, and many of those alike. So, when I heard they were coming out into the summer season with an original series, I was quite hopeful for a strong show. What we got was anything but... yeah... PA Works are best known for series such as Angel Beats, Another, and their recent 2014 hit, Nagi no Asakara. The studio also comes forth with simple, stunning animation and usually a brilliant soundtrack, which I most personally always love. So, needless to say, my hopes for Glasslip were fairly high. We have, I guess, for what Glasslip is worth, a decent soundtrack. It's not nothing bad, nothing good, it's pretty decent. And, you know, PA Works, somewhat standard animation, a little bit lackluster, but you know what? It's more of a B team of PA Works. But you know what? You know they have a story and characters, right? Look, everything else that we love from the studio was pretty much missing. Yeah, Glasslip lacks any emotion and even a trace of characters and a solid story. You know you done goofed. So let's start off with the story, shall we? This is by far the most easiest part I can say. Look, there's none. Yeah. Look, I mean, there's conflicts, concepts, premises, yet none of which are explained, explored, developed, or even resolved. Kakeru is the new guy, okay? This, for some reason, causes some struggles among the other 5 main characters. When Touko and him start developing a thing. Speaking of that thing, I also want to mention we never get these explanations of these fragments explained at all, or the explanation of if she's just seeing things or it's actually supernatural. They never dive into this, and that's just something I just need to throw at you guys and understand. Inserted in the middle, we have an awkward relationship between Touko and Kakeru. Again, it's clear that these two have a romantic feelings for one another, yet Glasslip doesn't really know how to handle this aspect, leaving us with, yet again, another plot point unresolved by the time we finish. This is without mentioning the fact that Kakeru has no emotion in him whatsoever, leaving him as a very extremely weak character. The show spends so much time jumping from one thing to another that it loses any sense of plot it had in the beginning. It's just bad. It's so bad I couldn't believe PA Works gone from a hit like Nagi no Asakara to something like this, which has no redeeming qualities in terms of a story whatsoever. Speaking of no redeeming qualities, I don't care about the characters. Kind of shocker, right? I just don't care. In addition to Touko and Kakeru, there are 4 other main characters: Yanagi, Yokinari, Sashe, and Hiru. However, Glasslip gave me 0 reasons to care about any of these characters. First off, let me ask you this. Why should I care if 2 characters don't work out romantically with each other? Why should I care about what happens to Touko when she suddenly inherits these supernatural abilities to see the future? And why should I care about anything to do with this anime? There's no backdrop story for these characters aside from Kakeru, and no real development of these characters whatsoever. Hell, they do things to each other that will just make you not like them. I mean, it just feels awkward, man. I just can't stand these conversations that they had. And I'll get straight to the dialogue in one quick second. But let me just say this. In the end, the character I liked best was a supporting character. Touko's younger sister, Hina, I liked her the most. And sadly, I just felt like she was the nicest character and felt more relatable. Not to myself or to really just her as a character. It was the fact that she reminded me of my younger sister, but that doesn't excuse her and make her a likable character. It just made me feel a little bit of a sense of remembrance of my younger sister. And honestly, the person next to me probably wouldn't think that whatsoever and would probably just hate the characters altogether, which personally I did. And then we get to the last episode, which, to be honest, it developed characters, it gave me a little bit more of the story, and it gave me that little bit I needed just for a little bit more character development and character personalities. But honestly, it just didn't work. That was the last episode, and it was too far, too late to reverse the damage that it's already done. The 12, 13 episodes, whatever it was given, it just wasn't enough, and they just utilized it very poorly. Oh god, the dialogue. Oh my god. It's miserable. It's terrible. The writing for this was really bad. When they talk to each other, it just feels like I'm listening to short snippets without ever feeling like they're having a conversation and it's not being held. I would have rather preferred pointless small talk to awkward attempts at insightful conversations about chickens, future fragments, classical music, or even glass. Dude, Glasslip tried really hard to be deep, but man, it had basically no heart in it whatsoever and just failed in the character department badly. So how was the animation? Average? What else can I say? The show's visuals were decent, among the prettiest out there. You know, it was alright, nothing special. I guess it just portrayed the right amount of feels, I guess, when necessary. In terms of animation alone, PA Works have done nice stuff. And particularly more better stuff, just to be honest, compared to this series. Sadly, there are some odd decisions in terms of still shots which often crept up and happened at the most random and pointless places. This isn't new to PA Works, such as in True Tears, they did utilize the same technique over and over again with the still frames, which were fine because they actually worked well at the right emotional moments. And obviously they used this to utilize it to portray an emotional theme or just convey something that meant to be serious, but it didn't fully work. Glasslip is evidently of a lower budget than most recent works of the studio. But overall, I was fairly pleased with the animation, even if I was thrown off every time a badly timed still shot happened. It was alright, and I cannot say it's bad, it's just decent to okay. I like nano.ripe, but why was their music wasted on such a bad show? And why is it so peppy and cheery when the show really has zero pep and no cheer whatsoever? The opening song was appropriate because it's pretty and somewhat boring though. The soundtrack consists of some piano and some string chamber music and an extensive use of Mark Tree. I guess the background music didn't distract from the show, and it was one of the higher points of this production, along with the art. Pretty typical stuff of PA Works. Touko's voice actress has a very unfortunate part to play in her tribute role. The script being as terrible as it is, I'm amazed she pulled it off effectively. Hina's actress was of course great, and the same cannot be said about Tanita Riza, whose role as Sachi seems completely contradictory from her strengths as an actress, namely playing plucky tsundere action girls. Even her role in my least favorite Kyoan show of all time, Kyoka no Kanata, was a much better use of her talent. Everyone else was tolerable at worst, but rarely stand out whatsoever. Now to the final verdict. Glasslip could have been something fairly interesting, but in the end it lost all sense of direction and plot, leaving us with characters we didn't care for, a series that was ultimately a complete loss and waste of a time, and from a studio like PA Works, it is just a shame. But this one is just not worth watching whatsoever. Glasslip, get your ass together and just put in another great anime. I will say this, do pick up the soundtrack, because you know what, I'm kind of a fan and I actually do kind of like it, but that is just nano.ripe just being nano.ripe. Glasslip is just complete horseshit. So, let's go down to the scoring like I usually do for all my anime gone wrongs and anime reviews. Of course, from story, characters, animation, sound, and personal enjoyment, I am gonna give Glasslip from PA Works a terrible score, 4.16 out of 10. It is just god-awfully terrible. And you know what? I don't think I'm the only one that would agree so as the same for me. So, how is it possible that something so bad came from a studio that made some of the best romance / slice of life I've seen in recent years? Does leaving out Okada Mari from writing staff make the studio so terrible? And speaking of which, Okada Mari, who, if you guys don't know she is one of the lead writers of PA Works, who's helped out with many different works from them, such as True Tears, Angel Beats, and of course, was a part of Nagi no Asakara. If you can see the difference there, when PA Works doesn't use her, this is what happens. They get stuff like these, and it just becomes horseshit. Look, they need each other. PA Works, Okada, go back together, make some great anime, and just bring us something that's on the top tier that you have made in the last recent years. Anyways, I digress. Glasslip was a major misstep for PA Works, and a major disappointment coming off such a strong showing in the last couple years. Please, PA Works, come back to us. You can be good. I know you can. You just can't have such terrible writing and expect everything else just to sell itself just because it's mediocre or even maybe average. Shirobako, I'm looking at you to save us this coming season. Anyways, I hope you guys did enjoy this. Please hit that like button, and as well, comment down below on your thoughts and opinions of Glasslip, and I would love to see what you guys thought of this anime if you guys did watch it. So, anyways, my name is JcGreen, and I'll see you guys next time on my next anime-related video. Peace, guys.